Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we are looking at another heat press from Vevor, but this one is an all-in-one. So this is going to be your all-in-one business machine for starting up your own heat press like industry for printing out designs. So you can print on t-shirts, which is going to be the example that we're going to be showing you today with the actual heat press itself for t-shirts. You can do mugs with this mug press here. You can do hats with the hat press. And then you can even do like little plates like this with this little foam press as well that goes inside the t-shirt press as well. So we're going to talk about all of those here in just a second. And then we're going to get into how to use the machine and the actual print on a t-shirt as an example of just one of the several items that this can do. So anything you can fit in this machine, you can basically heat press. As well as round objects here. They do have optional accessories for different sizes for like mugs, 12 ounce, 17 ounce cups. You've got your hat press as well, and it's as easy as swapping a cable, and I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But with that said, let's jump into what comes with the unit. You get this bag full of tools, a couple spare parts like the pressure knob on the front. And speaking of the pressure knob on the front, I didn't show that in this video coming up, but you just twist it left or right to either apply more pressure or less pressure on the machine itself. I think that's pretty self-explanatory there, but I thought I'd throw it in. This does come with its own screwdriver, but I recommend getting a heavy-duty screwdriver to help you on assembling. It's just a little bit easier in my opinion. The instructions were a little misleading too with like what screws go into which ports there. So I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. You have to attach this handle, that handle up there, and then the very front handle. It'll come with a set of screws in its own bag there. The long screws will be on this top handle, which will have this metal piece that goes underneath. And then on the front handle, you'll have the short screws that are also a Phillips head screwdriver, just like these long ones here. And then the last one is an Allen key screws that go on the very front pull down handle there. So I think you'll get that down. It was just a little misleading. They didn't really have each screw labeled. Same thing with putting this entire cup press together here. This took a little bit of time. All of the small screws are on the outside of the unit. So just keep that in mind. Every single small screw is on the outside. And then all of the thumbtack screws are for the bended cup enclosure here. And then you just screw on manually this actual like press here. So you actually can release and push this down just like that. This does come pre-assembled luckily with the press part of it, so you don't have to worry about that. And then the hat press itself, literally there's nothing to do with that. That's all pre-assembled, so you're good to go with that. So with that said, the other things that come with it is this little material that you can put on top of your design if you don't have like a pre-plastic sheet on your design like I do on mine. So I won't be using this in today's video because I don't need it, because mine already has these little plastic sheets on top. Just lay that on your t-shirt, press it down, and then you're good to go. I'm going to show you that video. And last but not least, you have your instruction manual, which, like I said, they did have a little bit hard to see which screws went into which ones, at least for me. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump over. We're going to talk about how to use it, and then we're going to make that t-shirt. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. All right, guys, really quick, before we get started, I want to share with you guys the digital gauge. The digital gauge, you just push and hold power to turn it on when you have power to the wall and the cord of what you're going to be using. So in this case, we're using the t-shirt press off to the right. If you're using the hat press, you just unscrew this cable right here and screw in this cable right here. If you watch any of my laser related videos, this is the same exact plug that the We Create Lumos has. So you may be familiar with these and using these, but you just plug them in and screw them into place to tighten it down, and these are swappable. You'll want to make sure that this is powered off every time that you swap a different unit out, whether it's the hat press, the heat press over here, or the cup press over there. Now with that said, you're presented with time and temperature. So your time, if you want like 25 seconds, you can do that. It goes up in increments of 5. In this case, we need 20 seconds and 320 degrees. So I already have it preheated. That's why it shows up green. Now, if you increase the heat pretty significantly here, and it has to get hot again, once it stops flashing here, it'll switch to like the red indicator saying that it's trying to heat up to that new temperature that you created. And then it'll turn green once it hits that new temperature. So we're going to go back down to 320 degrees. And then we're going to start this t-shirt here that I'm going to share with you guys. Like I said, I don't have a hat that I'm going to do today or a cup, but I think you get the gist of that. It's the same exact way. Just unscrew this and screw this in, and you now have a hat press. Same thing with the cup press there. So you're going to see me switch over to doing the t-shirt now, and then we're going to hit start right here once we're ready to start that process of the t-shirt. Then it should be done once this beeps, and we'll get into that. All right, guys, so now that we're at 320, I read in the instructions that you can heat press this with nothing in it first to get it a little bit warm. So we're gonna press it for a couple seconds here to pre-warm the pad. And then after just a few seconds, we're gonna release that, and we're gonna pull out the tray here, and we're gonna lay down our material, which in this case is gonna be a t-shirt for this example here, since I don't have other style items that I'm gonna do in this. But for the t-shirt, we're gonna just make sure it's nice and flat here. And that pad is nice and warm since we preheated this already. And now we can place down our design. So we're gonna use this design, and we're gonna lay it just about center here. We're gonna call it good, right about right there. I'm just eyeballing this. Now you can get an actual tool that will do this for you, where you don't have to eyeball it. You can just use like a little plastic like measuring tool for like t-shirts and stuff. I'm just kind of eyeballing and guessing here. And then I'm using this transfer tape just to hold it in place while we heat press. Just so it doesn't go anywhere here. And now that we have that in place, we're going to put that back in here and push it forward. And then we're going to clamp this down, and we're going to hit start. And it's going to count down from 20 seconds all the way down. It's going to beep, and then it's going to indicate when we can release this. And then we just have to let it cool off, and we should have a nice new t-shirt here. All right, it beeped now. I don't know if you could hear that from the mic on my my shirt here, but I'm going to release this here. That should be long enough. And then we're going to peel this out. And it looks like it's already kind of bubbling off. So we're going to let that kind of cool down here. We'll kind of just wave our hand around here to let it cool down a little bit quicker. And then this should peel right off of there. If it doesn't, we're going to heat press it again, kind of slowly, and then we'll go from there. But it should peel right off of here in just a few seconds. So I'm going to let that cool down, and then we'll slowly peel this off and make sure it's coming off of there. All right, and there you guys have it. That's all we had to do is peel it off after it cooled down, and we got our nice new little t-shirt here. So that turned out really well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like and subscribe, and check out this other video from Vevor's automatic heat press as well if you haven't seen that video. We'll catch you guys in the next one.